Hello, everybody. I am Magic Arpuse Fly, and we've got Bricky, who just finished off his round 4 game, Sisters versus Orks, Free Buddhas. How did that go?
It was pretty fun. My opponent was really nice, a gentleman named Logan. His list was pretty scary, pretty good. He tabled me turn 2.
All right. So you brought Sisters. How was that matchup between Sisters versus Free Buddhas? Like, did you feel it since that was like your first time going up against Free Buddhas at this event?
Yes. Everything is strength 5 or strength 6, so they're winning me on 3s or 2s. I have no minuses to hit, really, and he's Free Buddhas anyway, and he had 4 planes. So, and I had 40 infantry and characters on the fields in the beginning, so hiding wasn't an option. And once he got turn 1, I was like, I went from denial, bargaining, I went right to acceptance. I was like, all right, time to scrounge some points.
Okay, so what was the final score then going out of that game?
Ooh, well, your boy made a juicy 31 points. Oh, and him, 100.
So he perfect gamed you?
He got everything.
Oh, geez. So what did you learn going into Free Buddhas? Like, how would you play that matchup differently now that you know kind of like more or less what they do now?
I don't think I could have played it differently. He got turn 1, which he has 4 planes. Like the Alpha Strike, the Squid Buggies, you really can't do anything against that unless I reserve more. But then I would have been tabled turn 1. So I don't know. I reserved significantly more than I normally do. Would spend 2 CP on it just because of that. That's probably the only reason I got 31 and not 15. So I honestly don't know.
All right, so over at the SoCal Open, Orks are just completely just running amok everywhere. Thank you for joining us for this interview. Hope the rest of the games go well for you. Yeah.
I mean, I'm 3-1. I won my first 3.
Hello, and I'm back with another interview. This time we've got Marky Mark. Mark is he went up against Grey Knights. This is the second time they've gone up against Grey Knights during SoCal right now. Yeah, you're ranked number 700 on the ITC. So, you know, this major can bump you up to a higher ranking. How are you feeling so far about this event?
Well, I didn't know I was 700, so that's good news. Honestly, it's great. Like, it's like the atmosphere, it feels great. The weather's great on top of that. SoCal's been a great time. First experience, and it's been great.
All right, so how was your matchup against Grey Knights? Because you fought them back-to-back already. Grey Knights is one of the armies that's like in the top 5 T-Whips right now. When it comes to 40K, you have your Drukhari, you have your AdMech, Orks, and Grey Knights. So they're kind of like at the bottom along with Orks when it comes to T-Whips. So how is it feeling going up against them?
Honestly, every match has been like super hard fought. All the games were close, like within I think like 5 or 10 points. Even the game against Orks, the freebooters, that was I think I was down 3 points. Just made mistakes by freebooters. They're disgusting, dude. And Grey Knights, they're all over the table. They're just as disgusting and resilient. That you could almost say they're disgustingly resilient.
Surprisingly resilient. Now, you are an Orks player, right? You do have an Orks army. How is it knowing that Orks are like one of the top tier armies now? Like they're just absolutely dominating so much stuff with freebooters.
It's fun. It's fun to know that the Orks are doing well. It's always kind of like sad when there's only like maybe one way to do it. But it's nice until somebody finds a way to counter it. So until the counter comes, hopefully maybe it might even just be like a shift in like an FAQ or something to maybe bump them some points or change a rule. But Orks, they're fun. They're fun and nasty. They're disgusting.
All right, so that's it for this interview. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have good luck with the rest of your games. Hello, everybody. I am Magic Arpuse Fly over at the SoCal Open, and with me today we've got Kicker. Hello, Kicker. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, everyone. My name is Kicker. Yes, that is my actual name.
Well, so what do you do at this event?
So I'm the Frontline Gaming event coordinator. So I'm not a judge. I'm not really a TO. I'm making sure everything else is going smoothly. So I'm working with the venue, making sure tables are where they need to be, making sure the store, the registration is all happening, and of course, prize support. That's all there.
Now, how many people are actually here today? This is on a Saturday, so this is going to obviously be the biggest day for the convention. And this place is packed. It's absolutely packed with a bunch of people for different games. Do you know a roundabout of how much people are here today?
Yeah, totally. So Saturdays are almost always the biggest day for our events because that's when we have all game systems playing. We have 7 game systems playing right now. So we have everyone from 40K to Marvel Crisis Protocol, Star Wars Legion. We have around 320 people right now. There's a few drops, of course, as normal, but about 300 or so players. And it's crazy how awesome this hall is. This is actually where they do like livestock shows and stuff. So we're in the fairgrounds in Del Mar, and we're in one of their exhibit halls, and it's just such a cool venue for us. I mean, every Frontline Gaming venue is a little different, but this one's really cool because it's just a giant, like, massive hall. I don't know how else to describe it. And right over there's the beach. You know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It was a little bit raining today, but it's the sun's coming out. People are starting to get their dice rolls in. We're starting to see like the top tables over there at the stream station. So lots of really cool stuff going on here.
You have great players, but you also have just like beautiful armies. It's really a beauty pageant, right? People come in here with the most beautiful armies to show off. So you have like great players playing like the highest level of 40K you can imagine, but you also just have like casual guys that have got armies they've worked on for 2 years that they want to show off and play. I'm definitely more the guy that, I'm an average Joe of a player, and one of the things I love about coming to a tournament is not only getting to play, but just play against a beautiful army.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's so many pretty armies that are out there, and not just in 40K, but also for Age of Sigmar, Legion. Yeah.
You got to go check out the Legion tables. Like, they're so thematic. I mean, 40K, we really try to have functional tables, which is great for competitive play, but Star Wars Legion, like, the tables are just pretty to look at. I mean, anyone that's ever seen a Star Wars movie can appreciate those tables.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So that is it for this interview. We'll check back in with you later on, probably tomorrow or later on today. But, yeah, thank you for spending your time with us, and we'll see you guys around.
Definitely, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I am Magikarp Use Fly with the Frontline Gaming Network, and we have Sheldon here, who is in charge of all of the Kill Team stream stuff, being Kill Team TO as well. So you're like organizing all the stuff that's going on over here at SoCal Open, correct?
Yeah, I do Kill Team TOing and streaming, and make some tournament packets for other players to be able to use at their own events. KillTeamStream.com, check it out.
I see like all this setup that you have right here, and we'll look at it in the video, but you did all this yourself?
Yeah, I have a background in like video stuff, so it was kind of, I just went right into the streaming when I saw the game and with the big event and the fact that there was sort of a need for streaming, for Kill Team. Yeah.
Okay, all right. How long did it take you to get all this stuff together and like figure out a way that it works? Because having a background in video, like you have the equipment, but you'll quickly realize that doing something with like miniature games is kind of difficult, right?
Yeah, I started in like 2018 LVO. I saw how they had set up the stream for that, and that was what kind of like. I was like, I could do this. I've got video equipment, and so I just kind of got right into it. And then I started realizing in order to stream, I need to have games to stream. So that's what got me into the TO side as well. We're all kind of calling it Kill Team 2 around the community, but yeah, I love it. It's way more kinetic. It's a lot more engaging because instead of like one whole turn and another turn, it's like every activation alternating between operatives. So I think it's a way more energetic and fun game. It makes for better streaming.
Yeah, very skirmishy. Games are very, very fast, right? Yeah, definitely. And I think that you told me that the stuff that you have set up there, you actually printed it yourself, right?
Yeah, I designed and printed like the tournament packet and all the resources. I just printed sort of like straight out of there. I'm a graphic designer as well, so that sort of stuff was pretty easy for me to just kind of like make all the little resources and stuff we can use at the tables.
Just a jack of all trades, huh? It's like all built into one person. Just any plugs, like where people can find you and everything?
KillTeamStream.com. Check it out.
What's the stream link also?
Yeah, twitch.tv/KillTeamStream, which you can also reach from KillTeamStream.com.
All right, hello everybody. I am Magikarp Use Fly, and we've got Bricky who just finished off his round 4 game.
Frontline Gaming, we make the best tabletop gaming mats in the universe. Our mats are durable, rollable, foldable, wipeable, and storable. Oh, and they look damn great too. Join the thousands of tournament regulars and garage gamers who use our mats to bring their gaming surfaces to life. To ensure quality, Frontline Gaming mats are custom made one at a time, printed with high quality ink. Our immersive designs stay crisp and are available in a wide range of styles and sizes. So whether you're playing a war game or a skirmish game, whether you're fighting over an alien tundra, fantastical forest, or real-world setting, there's a great-looking battlefield for you. Our gaming mats are printed on extremely durable neoprene backing, so they won't slide around the table, and they're thick enough to stay flat, protecting what's underneath and allowing for slight uneven surfaces. We know from experience that an easily portable gaming surface is just better. Every mat comes with a sturdy nylon zip-up bag for storage and transportation. Whether your next battle is in your home or at the local game store, you'll be able to unroll your FLG mat and get gaming right away. Our products are all made and tested by passionate gamers at Frontline Gaming HQ right here in the USA. It's time to take your battlefield to a new level. Frontline Gaming, champions of tabletop.
I'm doing damn fine, mate. Very happy to be here for this round 6, the pre-optimate round pre-optimate round. I'm doing so well today. The the final round before the cutoff to that illustrious top 8. Fantastic shot we've got here of the gaming room in play. We've got Mr. Sean Naden in his ETC winning Team America jersey. In the background, we see ITC legend and champion of the game, the bald Brandon Grant. Exactly right. Guys, confirmed that you guys cannot hear Andrew. Is that correct? Is this only Adam audio? Half there, only Adam. Well, you know, that means we'll have to unplug. You know, got halfway there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So our top 3 tables, of course, every undefeated player we are covering for you right now. Now on table 3, we have our 3rd and 4th placed opponents. Currently, Matt Estrada playing Colt Mechanicus, fairly standard Skitarii bricks with Sakarans and Stratoraptors list, into Colin McDade playing Orks, and he has a very traditional, or what we consider traditional buggies list. All the buggies, a couple of MSU units, bits here and there. On our top table, we have, on our second table, we have the two heartthrobs of this event are Scott LaFontaine versus Tyler Bortel. That's Chaos freaking Demons versus Forces of the freaking Hive Mind, man. Neither of those guys thought they were going to be here. And I'll tell you what, I'm damn proud of them both. Absolutely indomitable.
Can you hear me, Chad? I may be back.
Can you confirm if you can hear him or not? Could you hear Andrew? He just spoke then for a moment. You got him?
Aha! Awesome. Well, I am back.
Yeah.
Hopefully
spicy.
back for good.
Val, just getting those monkeys in line.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, the Force of the Hive Mind versus the Greater Demons, I would say the Greater Demons list is probably more notorious, Triple Keeper, but I mean, some magic out of his hat with his Forces of the Hive Mind list. I mean,
oh, absolutely. I really wonder who this mission is going to favor, because like we said, this mission is the scouring. So, you know, no good deed goes unpunished. You go through a 5-round gauntlet just to play the scouring in the last round. You know, no easy walk to the finish line.
It's
for
rude.
Anybody.
It's churlish, and I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly right. It's ferociously exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, after 2 full days of gaming, to have to go into the scouring and final round, especially when you're playing at, I guess, your best games you've ever played, to have a Forces of the Hive Mind and a Demons player in the finals. Now, granted, the interesting thing about this mission being the finals, this mission being the final mission for today, is that in the AdMech versus Orks game, this is bad for both of them with regards to deployment.
Yes. We essentially looked at this game, we're like, this could just be a first turn game. Like, flip that coin. Who's gonna go first and kill the heart or the core of the opposition's army? And they just kind of have their way with it from there. But sorry, I was remiss. I didn't mention our top table. Our top table is Sean Naden, legend of American 40K. He's a bit of a legend down here too. Looks like Jesus, plays wonky lists, probably go quite well in Australia. But he's playing against the Dark Angels legend himself, Mr. Joel, with his triple Terminator brick Deathwing list. Absolutely crazy that he's gone this deep into things. Really proud of the man.
Yeah, now, granted, going into a mission like this, we talked briefly about Orks versus AdMech. Now, I still personally favor the AdMech, even if they go second, just because they have access to cover, which is a big deal. It's instantly negating the -1 that the Ork player will gain.
The speed wall. Yeah,
from
the speed wall, exactly right.
And because he has the CP, he can essentially just reserve all of the cheap, easy-to-kill units to trigger freebooters, and... I mean, as even one turn of not triggering that bonus, the AdMech are just going to start cleaning up all of the assets.
Exactly right. So that game, if anybody remembers the LGT final between Malik Rubio and Alex Harrison, where it was pretty much just a coin flip. If the AdMech went first, they were definitely going to win. If I think it was the Iron Hands went first, they had a good chance of winning, but the AdMech still may have clawed it back. I see that being almost similar there, but no need to get down on that. That's just the state of the game.
Adam is frozen. The Inquisition was not okay with anything he was saying, apparently. They now can apparently redact living beings. So, interesting. We will go. Let's go to table 1 first, and we'll go down the line. Adam, can you hear me? You are breaking up. We've lost our video. Okay. So in this table 1, we're seeing of course, the demons versus the Tyranids. It looks like they're starting their turn 1, playing very aggressively. Now, an interesting thing about both of these factions is they both took to the last. For the demons, this time it's still the Lord of Change. It's still Bellicor, and the pink Keeper of Secrets as opposed to the blue one. Maybe he got fed up with that blue Keeper of Secrets. But the Tyranids. Oh, so chat, can you hear Adam? Is he back? Yes. So interesting that the Tyranids also took to the last, and the choices for the to the last were the 2 Hierodules and the unit of Hive Guard. Now, I don't think there's any real chance for the Demons player to get access to the Hive Guard. It's just not realistic. Especially because he's using Greater Demons, and the Greater Demon, if he's smart, he'll deploy the Hive Guard more than an inch from the wall, which means the Greater Demons are never going to essentially gain any kind of melee access to the Hive Guard. Now, the Hierodules, I don't know what they're supposed to be doing in this matchup because they're not efficient against Greater Demons at all. And they're 2 to last targets, and I'm pretty sure a Keeper of Secrets will go through a Hierodule pretty quickly. So, so then... let's go to game 2. Let's go to table 2. So at table 2, this, of course, we're seeing Sean Naden versus Joel Wilson. Now, Joel Wilson has been our heartthrob. We've been putting all of our coins into seeing this crazy 30 block of Terminators and Dark Angels Terminators take it to the end. Now, unfortunately, the Scouring is absolutely the worst mission for him to be playing against a Sean Naden Drukhari list.
Yeah, exactly right. It's on the Scouring against Ultra Mobile Force when you're playing an Ultra Immobile Force. It's just a bit yuck. I can't see any way that the Deathwing player wins the primaries. So he's got to have like the most tight is all tight secondary game in order to make this close. I feel like Sean's kind of just going to run away with this, but man, Joel has surprised and impressed us at every turn. I'm ready. My soul is prepared to be again.
So there's an interesting conundrum with this game, though. So obviously, we found out that Sean has taken to the last again, and this time for a Venom, one of the Archons, and Drazar, which also, they can all just ball up inside of that to the last Venom and just stay out of line of sight of the Dark Angels forever. Like, they will never gain access to it. But the interesting thing is, because the objectives are actually so close to each other, that it's possible that if the Drukhari can't inflict major losses to any of the Terminator units, then there's almost, as we can see from this, there's almost no terrain anywhere in the center here. So if the Dark Angels player is able to get on top of this objective and this objective, the firing lanes are huge, and they both cover the central objective, which means that in order for Drukhari to get ahead in the primary, he's going to be have to sacrificing a lot of assets to try and hold that central objective. As we've seen, the Dark Angels player has gone for Oath of Moment again, which means he's playing hard for center.
Yeah, spot on. Hello. Yeah, I am.
So let's hop over to table 3 real quick and see what they're messing with in their game. So table 3, obviously, this is the Orks versus the AdMech, and it looks like Orks are going first. No, Colt Mechanicus went first, and it looks like they've already... It's actually hard to tell. If we can get from one of our pit bosses, who went first in the AdMech versus Orks game? It's hard to tell at the moment, but it looks like the AdMech might have gone first because they already have movement on the board, but it looks like the Orks have already suffered casualties. Orks went first. Okay, so it looks like the Orks went first, and of course we were already talking about how hard this mission specifically is for both Orks and AdMech during deployment, because all you have for deployment essentially is a little block similar to this on either side That is your deployment zone. So the Orks have such a huge footprint with all of the buggies that they have to put so much of their army in reserve. So what we are seeing here is actually the Orks going first, but most of their army is in reserve. It looks like all the planes are in reserve. The 3 unit of scrap jets is in reserve. This is all not necessarily by choice, or sorry, not necessarily preferred, but forced to be the choice because he simply cannot deploy all of the things within his deployment zone. Now I'm wondering how much of the AdMech has actually gone into reserves. I'm assuming, thinking that the Orks might try to deploy planes and activate freebooters early, that he might have put all of the little small 5-man units into strategic reserves as well, just to get rid of as many of those easy access targets as he can.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Can anybody confirm if they can hear me? Sorry, continue, Andrew.
So it looks like we just talked to one of our pit bosses. It looks like that they actually didn't. The AdMech player didn't actually put any of his units into strategic reserve, so he was able to fit everything within his deployment zone.
Exactly right.
I don't know if that's the right choice, though. I think that was a bad
it's awkward,
choice.
isn't it? It sounds like I'm back and coming through clean, so we'll try to see if we can continue, guys. Absolute apologies. Which was...
Okay, so let's go back to table 1 real quick. So it looks like they're going to figure out their turn 1s. There's going to be a lot happening in there. It's going to be hard to keep up with some of it. So let's go back to table 1 real quick. And it looks like... Okay, so this was my predictions for this matchup. I think in general, most of the offensive power goes to the demons. They have 5 greater demons, including Be'lakor, and that's enough power to get through most of the Tyranid army. Now, the advantage the Tyranids have that makes them a bit of an underdog is essentially they have immense mobility. First of all, their units are fast. Second of all, they have access to one of the best stratagems in the game, which is Metabolic Overdrive, which is a free move twice. Now, the unit can suffer mortal wounds, but when they're fearless, who cares? Especially since they're throwaways. So I think the goal for the Tyranids here in this game, as well, because he has the forces of the Hive Mind, he has those Gene Stealer cult units to come in from reserves and get onto objectives that he will likely try to steal objectives and steal most of the primary early from the Demons player and force him to essentially try and play the back half, which likely, as we saw with our last game, the Demons have decent assets, but I don't even think the Tyranids is worried about really killing anything other than maybe the Demon scoring units. All right, let's go back to table 2 real quick. Let's see what's going on there. So on table 2, it looks like they're still working out what's going on with regards to their the first turn of their deployment zones, or bonuses are going on something. It looks like the Dark Angels player may have gotten the first turn. Now, I'm expecting in this game, let's be clear, the Sean Naden's Drukhari list is very particular to him and very focused on combating certain armies. It certainly wasn't keyed into being able to remotely damage 30 Terminators. I mean, he has some BQB, he has some Succubus. They're good at a lot of things. Can they kill 30 Terminators? I doubt it. Especially because you have something like Lazarus who can give the resistance to mortal wounds, and you have the Apothecary who's bringing models back and giving everybody a 6 of Feel No Pain. Like, that is very strong, and you have so many Storm Shields, and you have so many 2+ saves, which this specific Drukhari list is not good against. Now, the Drukhari's plan, obviously, is to try and just have as much control of the board as possible without throwing assets away unnecessarily. Whereas I think the Dark Angels army is going to attempt to just swamp these 3 objectives as fast as possible and then just try and stay there. Just try and stay there and hold, maybe cover this entire objective so the Drukhari can't even like sneak in to steal it, force them to be in engagement, and then hopefully trade upwards so that the Drukhari is sacrificing too many units and losing momentum in their army. Now, as we've seen as well, these are all just regular Deathwing Terminators. And they have a surprising amount of shooting output. And Venoms only have 6 wounds. So I think the Bolters and the missiles have the capability, especially since the Terminators are hitting on 3s, at worst 4s, and they can throttle +1 to hit with a 1 CP stratagem against those Venoms. That's a big deal. They'll probably gun them down very easily. Yeah, so it looks like, unfortunately, we're still struggling to get Adam back, so we're going to work through that a little bit more. But it looks like, from what he and I were talking about previously, this Venom right here is likely the Venom that has all of the to the last targets, which, as we talked about, those to the last targets, unless Sean decides to just throw them away for some reason, he will probably never gain access to that Venom. So that's a free 15 points for to the last. I don't see him ever being able to get access to it. And of course, he's also done the best thing that he could do, which was simply stick a single model first turn to get onto that to, of course, get his bonuses. So, and force.
Yeah, he's just chucked a unit there to force Joel to put something into the middle ASAP. And of course, Joel needs to get on these objectives. But once he's there, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what Sean decides to do to dig him out. He's got 3 blocks of Terminators, and there's three objectives, pretty close by. Just chuck one on each one, right? It makes sense, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's clearly his plan. So I think like the problem with Sean is that he has to make sure he doesn't lose too many assets too early. But because the Terminators have OBSEC and they're so tough, if he puts his Apothecary with the central objective Terminators and then just surrounds the objective, I'm not sure how Sean can actually get him off of that and score higher primary.
Well, I can tell you right now, having played, so I lost the first 9 games I played with my Deathwing list into Dark Eldar. I lost every single one, 9 out of 9, 0 and 9. I did end up winning a couple after that. I changed to more Raven Wing style. But I can tell you right now, Sean has the killing power to kill one of these units as long as they can't interrupt and swing back. But he has a Feist Last Archon. There's a Archon that just literally has, if you're within 3 inches or within engagement range, whatever it is, you do not get to fight until I'm finished. And a couple of units of Incubi, a couple of these Succubuses, a couple of these Archons can really just go and take a huge pound of flesh, kill half a unit, 3/4 of a unit by themselves.
Now, my question is, because you may know this a little bit more, Lazarus is just a flat 5-up Feel No Pain against any mortals, or is it psychic
Any
only?
mortals.
It's any mortals.
mortals.
So
Yeah.
that's immediately, I think if the Apothecary, if the Apothecary goes in the center, they're going to have a 6-up Feel No Pain regardless and be getting models back. But even with the possible killing power, I feel like if he tries to invest on that center unit and put all of those units into a place where he can kill that central unit and or at least deal severe damage to it, then how do all of those assets not die from the Terminators that are gonna be on the other 2 objectives and just blast them off the table?
Aesthetic Deluxe pointed out, waiting to see a Succubus pick up 10 Terminators, unfortunately. So I was wrong in saying that they'll pick them up by themselves, as in the conglomeration of Incubi, Succubuses, Blood Brides. Like, I had a unit of Blood Brides come into one of my units of fully buffed, nothing but Storm Shield Terminators, 10 Storm Shield Terminators. 10 Blood Brides came in with Fights Last on me, so they got to attack and then, do all their goodness. They killed 7. Just the Blood Brides killed 7 Terminators.
They do have immense volume.
Disgusting, man.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they have immense volume. I think that even though we're talking about the same army that you're familiar with and play, I think depending on how much he chooses to invest, I mean, the simple everybody has transhuman is going to be a problem. And unlike most normal Drukhari lists, like he doesn't have heavy combat units to throttle. I mean, it's 5-man Incubi, 5-man Incubi, and that's it. And he can't, he can't invest Drazar because it's to the last, and he's in the back. And
well, so the best thing that Joel can do is get all 10 of his models, all 10 of his OBSEC models on the objective. Because what Sean will do, he'll put 1 OBSEC model and then 11 junk models on the objective and just take it off him.
Absolutely. I mean, like, that's what I was saying. I think the only plan that he has for that central objective is likely he's going to have to, sorry about that, he was going to have to essentially cover it. He's going to have his Terminators completely cover the objective, likely with 1 or 2 characters in the center here to just try and keep them alive as long as possible. Because I don't see any real logical engagement for Sean to go for these side objectives. Because otherwise the things are just in the open, and those are going to also have 10 Terminators on them. And like, he can invest a majority of his combat potential and kill a 10-man Terminator unit, but can he kill 20 more? I don't think so.
What's the secondary that Sean's taken, Strategic Scan?
Strategic Scan is the one where you have to have, isn't that the one where you have to have 2 models in your opponent's deployment zone?
That's behind. Is that
2 units
what
in your
behind enemy lines is now?
I think so. I think that's correct.
Is it menace, pierce the veil, investigate signal? Yeah, what is Strategic Scan? I don't know it.
Is that
It's some
is
wonky
that the scouring specific?
Sean Naden. It might be. It might be the scouring specific.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, just like ironic that we see Sean Naden on this table again. I mean, this looks
It is.
familiar.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Sorry, continue, mate. It is the mission secondary.
Yeah, so I would say if you look at the screen
Yeah.
there, Adam, that looks familiar, and
Where did we see that
looks
before?
familiar.
It's the same table, isn't it? Except they've just moved around. It is the same setup.
Same table. Yes.
The terrain's in a different configuration naturally.
Yes.
Player placed. But yeah, would be very surprised if that wasn't Sean's first placement of a terrain piece. Was that large ruin in his deployment zone or
Yeah.
close
So
to?
I have strategic scan. If you would like me to tell you what it does.
Yes, please do, mate. Tell me a story.
So you have one. It's an action. One your movement phase. Each unit from your army that starts to perform this action must be in range of a different objective marker. So this is the scan on multiple objectives, and you gain points according to how many objectives you do it on. That's what this objective is.
Okay. And so you have to do it. You start at the start of your turn, and you get it at the end of your next command phase, starting your next command phase, or at the end of the battle. If this action is successfully completed, that objective marker is said to have been scanned by your army. You score another 50 points, depending on how many times units from your army have completed this. Can only do it once per objective? Shit. shit. I'm just happy I didn't say anything worse. Yeah? Yep. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, I am back in the game. Andrew's just going to hit me up with some top 16 stats for your lovely whiles, lovely years. Yep. Yep. Orks. GKs. Interesting. So, Orks 3, AdMech 3, Drukhari 4, Grey Knights 2. So, it looks like, this, if people can hear me, please let us know. They can hear me. I'm just glad I didn't say anything worse. Bang, bang! Welcome back, guys. Hopefully, I'm here to entertain you while we rebuild this house of cards. This, never mind. We're bouncing out. We'll be right back. We're going to get our monkeys in line. They're on those typewriters. It was the burst of times. It was the blurst of times. We'll be right back.